Hello and welcome back to AOS-CX 1013 update on CX feature pack. So we are going to continue with our series and this is chapter 5 under which we are going to talk about how the enforcement is done for CX subscription. This is going to be an important session where we are going to discuss a lot about enforcement modes, how your CX subscription is going to be enforced in different deployment scenarios. So let's get started.
At this point, it will be interesting to know more about honor mode, so let us look into it. So what actually is honor mode? In case of honor mode, advanced feature will stay active and operational even when no valid subscription is installed on the switch. If an advanced feature is in use, it regularly notifies the user with warnings to install a valid subscription. So why honor mode is needed? Firstly, honor mode is intended for the users who bought valid feature packs but haven't yet installed it on their CX switches. For such users, advanced features will be operational in honor mode with regular warnings to install a valid feature pack. Next, in case of brownfield deployments, where switches running in 10.11 or 10.12 and are using these advanced features are updated to 10.13. In order to not disturb the user's network, after 10.13 update, such features will stay operational in honor mode. Third, in case of subscription expiration, subscription will move to honor mode and all the advanced features will be operational with warnings. Lastly, in case of LMS disconnection, under which switch working with valid subscription loses its connectivity to CX feature pack server and unable to check the feature pack validity. In such cases, after 3-day reconnection attempts and failure, advanced features will move to honor mode. So apart from automatic shift to honor mode, as discussed in above cases, there may be other scenarios where under which admin may want to choose the honor mode. First one is in the case of air gap networks where network has no access to internet, and admin has to install local subscription file on each individual switch for very large number of switches. Note that currently there is no local subscription file server available from HPE Aruba networking. Or in case of in case where a customer is rushing, enabling an advanced features and bypassing the subscription management to save time. So a warning message will be displayed when user tries to manually configure honor mode on the switch using feature pack mode command in CLI. It should be noted that honor mode will be removed in future releases, which is clearly mentioned in this warning message as well. When subscription in honor mode, as mentioned earlier, regular warning events will be generated in event logs by feature pack manager daemon. These events are generated after every 12 hours and for each advanced feature. There is no option to disable these logs. Once a valid subscription is installed, further, no warnings will be generated and a feature will be allowed in active mode. Here is a CLI output to showcase the above details. So for instance, if you see here, in case of application recognition feature, warning events are generated after every 12 hours. Finally, when a subscription is installed, no such events are generated further. It is now time to look at how enforcement is done for different deployment scenarios. All these scenarios are specific to non-central managed switches, since we have already discussed about the central management switches at the start of the session. So if you have a switch running in 1010, which means that there is no advanced features and no feature pack infra, and hence no enforcement will be done. So user can choose to upgrade to 1011 or beyond, and as an incentive, they will get access to advanced features for enhanced network capabilities. Next one is if you have a switch running 1011 or 1012, which means that advanced features such as ABP, ARC or containers are available. Since there is no feature pack infra in 10.11 or 10.12, no enforcement will be done for these features. Now, users still have an option to upgrade to 10.13, and as an incentive, they get access to feature packs and added advanced features such as WAN MACsec and reflexive policies. In addition to that, they get access to LMS for smooth subscription management, which works hand in hand with the feature pack management infra on CX switch. Talking about a switch running in 10.13, users get access to both new and 10.11, 10.12 advanced features. These advanced features can be configured with valid subscription, and associated feature packs can be managed using LMS. Once again, this gets possible due to the availability of integrated CX feature pack infra. As discussed earlier, three feature pack modes are available: active, honor, and inactive. The application of these modes depends on the feature configuration and CX version transition, which are: number one, a net new switch in 10.13 where advanced features are configured for the first time on the switch. Next is the case where switch is upgraded from 10.11 or 10.12 to 10.13 and advanced features were configured before update or post update. We will now discuss each of these cases in details one by one. Talking about the first one, user wants to enable an advanced feature X on their brand new CX switch running 10.13 by installing a feature pack. Now, switch is in 10.13, so before installing a feature pack, if you do a show feature pack in CLI, the state will be shown as no feature pack installed. Subscription status will be inactive and advanced feature will stay blocked. As an impact, by default, advanced features will be disabled. Now, it's worth mentioning that the absence of a feature pack does not stop users from enabling these advanced features, and hence user can manually configure it. Post configuration, though enabled in configuration, feature will stay functionally disabled and warning messages will be generated indicating feature is blocked in strict mode. This comes under the net new method of enforcement. After a valid subscription is installed on the switch, state will be changed to feature pack installed and valid. Subscription will move to active mode and advanced features will be allowed. As an impact, advanced features will now be functionally enabled and no warning messages will be generated. Enforcement mode method still remains unchanged. Moving to the next deployment scenario, under switch, a switch runs on CX 10.11 or 10.12 and an advanced feature X is available but not in use. User wants to upgrade to 10.13 and then enable advanced feature X for the first time by installing a valid feature pack. In this case, switch behavior is quite similar to the last one. That is, the state as no feature pack installed, subscription status as inactive, and feature status as blocked. User can still manually configure it, but feature will stay functionally disabled and warnings will be generated. This too comes under the strict enforcement method. After a valid subscription is installed on the switch, state will be changed to feature pack installed and valid. Subscription will move to active mode and advanced features will be allowed. As an impact, advanced features will now be functionally enabled and no more warning messages will be generated. Third scenario is a bit different from the other two, where switch runs on CX 10.11 or 10.12 and advanced feature X is available and in use. After upgrade to 10.13, user wants feature to stay enabled post upgrade so that there is no impact on the network. Now user upgrades to 10.13 and before installing a feature pack state shows no feature pack installed. Subscription in this case move to honor mode and feature will be allowed. Considering feature was enabled before update, pre-existing advanced feature will stay functional after the upgrade, but since this is honor mode, regular warnings will be generated to notify the user. Pre-existing enforcement mode will be implemented in this case, considering configuration of pre-existing feature. After user install a valid feature pack, state will be changed to feature pack installed and valid. Subscription will move to active mode and feature will still be allowed. The only difference is that now no warnings will be generated anymore. Now in deployment scenario 2, what we just discussed is about the advanced features which were available in 10.11 or 10.12. And as in 10.13, few additional advanced features are introduced. So how these features are going to behave after the update. One thing we are clear about is that pre-existing advanced features such as ARC, ABP or containers will stay enabled in honor mode after user upgrades to 10.13. New advanced feature added in 10.13 will be enforced as net new in inactive mode and stay blocked until a valid subscription is installed. If no advanced features once enabled in 10.11 or 10.12, post-upgrade user gets to deployment scenario 2 where advanced features were enabled after the upgrade. Here is a CLI output that explains this clear difference. So if you see, application-based policies and app recognitions were enabled in 10.12 and hence they are in honor mode after the update, whereas the new features, that is reflexive policy and MACsec, are still inactive um, and are blocked. To sum up whatever we have discussed about different deployment scenarios, here is a workflow explaining the transition between these states. This shows how a switch in 10.11 or 10.12 can be enabled with advanced features and how factory reset will bring it back to as a new switch. And further, if user upgrades to 10.13, how advanced features are going to behave. In 10.13, if config reset is done, user needs to again configure these advanced features. If factory reset is done, or in case of RMA, switch will get back as the new switch in 10.13. After upgrade, user can also configure newly added advanced features, but they will only start working when a valid subscription is installed on the switch.
So with this, we come to an end of this session. We'll meet again in the next session, and in which we'll try to understand what is feature pack expiry, how we can renew our subscription, and how we remove our subscription from the switch. Also, we are going to see how a switch going to behave in all these scenarios.